All right, see, that wasn't so bad. You waited, and we're back. So we're just about ready here with Ogre Battle, March of the Black Queen, run by Dragondarch. So this should be a really exciting run for you guys. I know I'm excited. So I shouldn't have anything more else to say about it, really.
Need the and I need the gender.
All right, let's see here. One last refresh. And one last slowly loading refresh, I swear. Let's see. For leader, it's that. Good path, evil path. All right. It is going to be a female leader, and it is going to be. Oh, we did get a donation recently. So with $110, it's Delita.
Wow.
Somebody.
That was the one name I was expecting not to get through.
Yeah.
But okay.
I'm actually very curious. Wow, we actually got a number of good donations in. So when we get to a good point, we'll read those off. For now, we're ready to start.
So just a quick explanation beforehand why I had to set it up with specific names instead of letting you guys just choose whatever name you wanted. The RNG is affected by a lot of things in this game, and the name happens to be one of them. So I had to go in and research which names would still be usable, because at the beginning of the game, there's a little bit of RNG manipulation I can potentially use. I may or may not hit it, but it makes things a lot easier if I can hit anything with it. So those three names just happen to work. I also want to quickly give a shout out to Metasigma here, who's going to be operating my spreadsheet, which is going to keep track of all the cards I have. It has a list of the seeds I can possibly use along with what answers I need to give. But yeah, beyond that, at the beginning, again, I have to get very specific. I want to get good cards to start with from the character creation. So I'm going to be giving it a maximum of 5 tries. If I don't get anything good by the 5th one, I'm just going to go with it. I made it work before. I can make it work again. But starting with better cards just works so much. Just makes things so much easier to work with. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and reset. Start the manipulation here. I'm looking at a timer on my script. Go. Okay, let's see what I can get. You just covered the timer, Meta. No, I needed to look at the timer and you put your finger right in front of it. Good. Good job. You pointed at it as I was looking to see what the timer was trying to say.
Off to a great start.
All right, do we count that on the 5?
Yeah, I'll count it on a 5.
Okay.
We actually stopped the timer, I think. Oh, we resetted it. Nope, never happened. Let's try it again.
Don't worry about it.
So before actually starting the game, we have this character creation segment where he names the opinion leader and then sets the gender, and it's the frame that he confirms the gender on that
Death. Nope.
that his seed for the RNG is set.
That was a little late on it. I'm looking. Optimally, I want seed 75, and I'll know if I get it because I'll start with a justice card. That might have been a little bit early on the hit. So we'll count this as attempt 3.
And then during the rest of the character creation, the game picks some basically random cards that you get to keep the cards afterwards, and it also influences questions you get asked that let you choose
Fortune, that might be usable.
choose your opinion leader's build. And
If I get Chariot, I can go with it.
and he's trying to manipulate that.
Chariot, we're going with it.
Nice.
All right. Nice.
I need to be able to see the answers first. Yep, seed 73 meta. Okay, it'll be A next.
And these questions are basically determining your opening party, kind of a slight shift in some of your leader's stats, and then also you'll get additional units after you complete the first stage, and it'll also affect those as well.
Yeah, and there's 4 different versions of the opinion leader as far as what attacks they have from the front and back row, and then each of these questions he answers assigns some points towards one of those possible builds. And then for either of the categories he's going to be running today, any percent or devil ending, he wants what's called the Phantom Lord, which is an opinion leader that does a sword swing in the front row and then casts the Phantom spell from the back row. And then this final card here affects his stats, or her stats in this case.
I know. Unfortunately, I know I'm not on the manipulation for the first stage because I didn't hit the button at the right time. Coming out of when you select the last card is basically what determines what seed you're going to be on for the first stage. Beyond the first stage, the game is not manipulatable any farther.
Yeah, there's too many variables, and I mean it's time of day and units and all sorts of random things.
So for anyone watching that's not familiar with this game, this is a tactical RPG for the Super Nintendo. Each stage or map, as a lot of players call it. The goal is to kind of capture, or is to defeat a boss that's in the Zetagnian, I think it's pronounced, Empire's castle, and it's ordinarily kind of you're ordinarily supposed to kind of fight waves of enemies coming from the enemy's castle to yours and then liberate all of the towns in the map before you go fight the boss. But since this is a speed run, we're not really going to be doing a whole lot of that.
Judgment, add that one, please.
Nice.
Most of the stages, he's just doing just a few things here and there, and then rushing straight to fight the boss.
And so the game takes place kind of in 2 completely separate zones. One is this real-time sort of place that he's moving on right now, where the time shifts and his party is moving. But once you meet a battle, it's actually just turn-based, and every unit has a certain attacks they do either in the front or back row, and it also determines how many attacks they get per combat.
Yeah, and then like I think Rizlio just said, you don't get direct control over your characters in battle. You basically get to pick tactics, and the tactics you pick, for the most part, just affect which target which enemy your characters attack, as far as how much HP they have. But there's also some subtle changes to damage too. Like the 2 tactics you'll be seeing the most in this run are Leader, which has no modifiers but always targets the boss, and Weak, which gives +4 damage per hit, and attacks the enemy with the lowest HP. So that's why you'll be, even though he wants to kill the boss, because that just makes the battle end. You'll see him switching between Leader and Weak fairly often in order to get that +4 damage per hit.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to dismantle the group I start with. They're really just not useful for anything, and there's much better units I have to work with. And I'm also going to dismantle Lanza's group here because I want one of those wizards from the back row. And then I'm going to dismantle Warren's group because Warren is actually a really good character at this point in the game. But the big thing here is I need these griffins. These griffins have high sky movement, which is really important because it's the fastest way to get around the map. You saw in the last one, it took me a while to cross that water to get up to that first town. And high sky units don't suffer that penalty. They just go straight to wherever they want, and it's just really
Yeah, they
really
can also
quick.
fly over walls too, which matters in certain maps. But do you want to maybe give a quick update on when we're cutting off the category bid war?
It'll be after I finish scene 8.
All right. So get those donations in then if you want him to be good or evil, basically, as far as how he plays the rest of the game from that point.
And just as a quick reminder, Good Path is currently in the lead with $510.12.
Wow.
Nice.
With Evil Path, which is the devil ending, with just a $300 donation. So you still have some time to make a difference here, folks.
You haven't actually seen him use any yet, but these tarot cards that he got both in the character creation and when he liberates towns are extremely important, because he can use those during battles for a fairly wide variety of effects, whether it's causing damage or just manipulating stats or the overall battle in different ways. We'll going to call out what they do as he does them.
Bought a few items there. The summons allow me to summon any other group to where my opinion leader happens to be. And the other items were just like general standard revive and healing items for safety purposes.
Yeah, these hidden items, by the way, are random, and they could be basically any piece of equipment in the entire game, which is like 100 some pieces. So
Yeah.
he's just trying to he's just hitting as many as he can that are relatively convenient to pick up to try to get some good stuff for his combat units.
Okay, good. That cleric deployed at the normal time instead of late, like they sometimes like to do, and I didn't have to do any dodging around them. Ideally, I don't want to be fighting any normal encounters except very specific circumstances. So I'm setting it to leader first here because he has the highest HP, and I need to get it down below the 2 wizards before I can switch it to weak. Now he's low enough. I switch it to weak. I get the +4 damage to all of my all my units. This boss is pretty straightforward. They stuck him in the front row, so he's very easy to get at. Griffin Bro not coming through this time. He wouldn't have killed it, though. He doesn't have any equipment, and he's not terribly strong. He's mostly just here to help us get around. Wizard, please. This boss is not that smart.
Yeah.
Well, Griffin Bro is down.
Bro suffered the consequences.
You suck, Wizard. So I have no more attacks left, so I have to retreat, and I'm going to have to revive the Griffin because he died.
Yeah. So specifically when a large unit dies in a unit, they actually become the slow movement type, which is they just move as if everything was ocean.
Usually don't end up losing that, not so much losing that fight, but I usually don't have to run away from it, but that was just horrendously bad luck from the wizard on the right.
I believe he ran away too, just because that's faster than actually losing the fight, which automatically happens with bosses if you run out of attacks.
Yeah. If basically the wizards in the the wizards would have gotten a couple more attacks, and that's why I just ran away, because it was instant. So yeah, a little bit of bad luck, but the whole run has a lot of luck attached to it, mostly with regards to accuracy, which you'll see
A lot.
I am so glad I can see that Fool card right now because I need that in a handful of stages.
Yeah, because accuracy it's kind of a weighted formula based on, for physical attacks, your agility relative to the targets, and then for magic attacks, your intelligence. And if you're fighting someone with an extremely high agility or intelligence stat, then the misses start to pile up.
So I'm quickly ducking back into the same map. I'm going to liberate this town. This town here will always give you 30,000 goth if you have less than 30,000. So I'm going to be abusing this to get a lot of money very quickly in the game. Let's see. Fortune, nope. That is junk. Don't add anything. But yeah, free 30,000. I'm going to be using that to buy, in the next stage, some Joker tarot cards. Jokers allow me to buy, or allow me to pull tarot cards instead of at any time, instead of having to liberate a town. And cards make up a big part of this run. Like, it's pretty ridiculous just how important they are. They're less important for a 100% run, but we don't have that option today. We only have any percent or devil ending, which both of those rely pretty heavily on it. So at the beginning, I also made this other group here with the other Griffin. This is going to be used as a liberation group. I'm going to send it off to towns that I need to liberate, but are not quite on the path. Or in this case, it allows me to get an extra item, because on this island over here, there is a hidden item, but this is the shop right here. I want a chance at that item and to be able to hit the shop. But yeah, I'm going to buy a whole bunch of Joker cards here.
You'll notice, too, he'll move his units, and then whatever point that he goes to, he'll just kind of sit there. It's a little boring, but if you're moving around the map, time actually stops, so it's advantageous to continue staying in the same place and letting your units do what they need to do.
I'm actually going to replace that one revive I used in the last stage.
Good idea. Because like he said, he doesn't usually die there or have to retreat, so that revive is a very peculiar time to use it.
I told that other unit to move as well, because if I leave him there, the enemies are going to... Ooh. That's not great, but it's not bad. I'll give it to the Griffin. Actually, no, I won't give it to him here. Not for this boss. But I moved that other wizard group just to get it away from the town because the enemy units going by would trigger a fight, and I just want to get him out of the way so he's not fighting. Once again, he starts with the most HP, so I need to set it to leader to start off with. Oh, Opinion Leader's going faster than usual right now. I guess I should probably talk about why I chose the Phantom Lord. Normally, this is considered like a very... normally, the Phantom Lord is considered a very evil character, and I mean, that would match Devil Ending to a degree, but the reason why it's picked is because it gets insane intelligence growth, which is really useful with Judgment, Justice, and Magician cards, which are going to make up the bulk of my damage later on, especially versus the final boss. The final boss is a nightmare with almost any other Lord, so that's 90% of the reason why Phantom Lord is chosen, despite it using Darkness Elemental attacks and being pretty frail overall.
Yeah, because tarot cards that do damage are based on the Opinion Leader's intelligence stat, so he wants that to be as high as possible.
So once again, I'm going to duck back in and get some free money. Who in this room likes free money? Woo! That's what I thought. Don't tell the town, though. I just actually walk in and rob them of the 30,000. I'm like, I'm going to save this land. You give me money.
We already heading towards the evil ending.
Okay, let me see what I got for cards. 2 Justice, a Magician. I got a Judgment in there. Chariot's good for later. I wish I had a Hermit, but I should be okay. The spreadsheet I'm using primarily is just for me to keep track of which cards I have on hand instead of having to check the, instead of having to go into the menu itself and check it constantly, which eats up a lot of time if you have to do it multiple times. I just developed this method here at home, and with my setup at home, I can do it myself, no problem. But here, Metasigma has been helping me just to keep track of this stuff. All I need to be able to look at is just how many cards I happen to have on hand.
So in this stage, the day-night cycle is extremely important. I mean, it's important elsewhere too because it affects your characters, or it affects the damage formulas, I believe, based on the character's alignment stats. But it's especially important in this stage because Sirius, the boss, is a werewolf, but only at night. So we definitely want to fight him during the day when he's in a much weaker form.
7 Sunshines here. Sunshine set the time of day to noon, and I'm going to be using that in some stages later on to maximize my damage output versus certain bosses. This is not one of those stages, but I'm not going to be pulling a card down at this other temple either, because if you pull either a sun or a moon card, it has the same. It just sets the time of day to noon or midnight, respectively, and I do not want to set this to night. This boss is virtually impossible for me to beat at this point in the game. At night, anyway.
And that temple gave him a guaranteed item that he can actually put on the Griffin, and it has a light damage property, which is effective against a ton of bosses in this game.
Yeah, you just equip the Griffin with an axe. I kind of like to picture it holding the axe in its beak and charging with it.
Okay, so this boss, he's probably going to, did a lot of damage to the Griffin right off the bat. And did you hit? Okay. This guy's a little off center as he's all the time, so it's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah, there's little subtleties with the spell animations that let you see if they hit or miss before the game tells you.
Oh, wow. Griffin Bro went down right off the bat.
Too bad.
Okay, good. My opinion leader has... Oh, Warren, how did you miss? Warren has the high intelligence here. Twice. I'm gonna let the other wizard go first. The other wizard hit twice. Why couldn't you, Warren? Okay, so that's unfortunate. The Griffin getting its attack probably would have made up for that. Thankfully, I got there soon enough that I should have one more shot before we hit nighttime. And even if we don't, I can just burn a sunshine if I absolutely have to. But I'd rather not if I don't have to. Not going to heal the generic wizard. I'm just going to heal Warren up since he was a little low. Ooh, going to be close. Just barely.
Just got it.
So it's still going to be Dusk, which is very beneficial right now. Wow, Griffin is just... Oh, the dodge.
Oh.
No. Oh, well.
Griffin bro.
He's the true hero of the rebellion. Warren finally deciding to hit.
Thanks, Warren.
Warren has, versus him, I think he's got about a 70 or 80% chance to hit. The other generic wizard actually only has like a 50 or 60% chance, but managed to hit twice, and Warren missed twice. So get used to that. That happens.
Time for our favorite character.
Yeah, let's not talk about him just yet.
How about
We'll save that.
then can this be a great time to talk about some donations?
Go for it.
Yeah, I've got a lot of donations here for you, Darch. Starting with Slick Drax, donating $250, saying, I used to love Ogre Battle growing up. I still do, but I used to also... I'm not sure how he intended the word that. I wanted to use my donation for a custom name, but alas, the RNG gods must be beaten. So instead, I will put this towards the good inning, just for the added difficulty and craziness. We also have $15 from T.How, saying, since Ogre Battle is named after Queen songs, what are the runner couch people's favorites Queen songs?
Uh,
How about Killer Queen? There you go.
We'll go with that.
We also have $20 from Abda, saying, totally unbiased donation to name the leader's name T2260.
Totally unbiased. Totally.
We also have $20 from Kodak, no comment, but thank you very much. We also have $50 from Anonymous saying, here's a $50 donation, put it toward naming the sexy female protagonist, Delita, the ultimate He-Man woman hater of all time. Never forget, Mario saves the princess while Delita punches her in the stomach.
Oh, God.
Okay, so for this map, I'm deploying 3 units. This one here is a plane. This unit right here, you can see, is a planes unit. But I'm setting them up. There's an item here and another item a little bit to the west of where I had the sword there. I'm just going to pick up these items just in case I get... Ooh, that's good strength on that one. It's fire element, which isn't the best, but it's still useful. If anything, I can sell it for a lot of money as well. So either way, it's going to come. It should come in handy. But okay, yep. Get this town next. This is where I'm going to buy some more jokers, and I'm also going to buy some all heals. And I'm going to replace that revive I bought. Death, no, that's not useful for anything. For speedrun purposes, death is pretty useless. All it does is finish off weakened enemies, but and it does not work on bosses, unfortunately. So it ends up being pretty not good. Okay, so we're going to place that one revive I bought.
Again.
I'm going to grab 5 all heals. These heal the entire party. They're basically a standard heal item, but they hit everybody instead. And then just the rest of it goes to jokers. Let me look. Okay, position him here.
There's a side quest you could do in this stage to actually destroy the walls around the castle, but if you have high sky movement types units like the Griffins, you can just fly over it.
Okay, I'm going to wait for it to start going to dusk. Now, this should be right.
And so he waits there because that'll benefit his units, which have mostly neutral alignment, and that'll just give him some extra damage bonuses.
Okay, I'm going to open with Magician. And then I'm gonna burn a Justice after it. I'm gonna actually wait till after this turn because I think. Oh wow, she hit.
Warren?
Not unexpected here. I'm gonna change the leader real quick because I know Justice is going to hurt the dragons more than him. Okay, I basically just need one more hit here from either of the wizards should work. The generic might not get it, but Warren definitely can. If I need to, I can burn. Ooh, good.
Griffin Bro is saved.
Generic wizard taking it down. So I should mention, my party is average level 3 right now. Warren and the generic wizard are both level 4. The opinion leader and the Griffin were both level 2. This guy's level 11. And that's gonna be roughly how it is for pretty much the rest of the game, where I'm very, very under-leveled for most of these bosses. The only reason it's really going to be possible to beat the game at these kind of levels is strictly because of the tarot cards.
And it's good to mention now that if your level difference, if you're 6 levels below an enemy that you kill, you just automatically get 100 XP, and that will instantly level you, which is nice.
Yeah, because it's always 100 XP to level, but the game scales the XP awards per fight by the level difference.
And it's also noted, if you kill an enemy with a card, only the opinion leader will get experience. The whole group won't. In addition, the opinion leader only gets half the amount of experience they would get otherwise, so I generally want to be trying not to finish off bosses with cards if I can avoid it. I will if it comes down to it, but that's always a last resort. So this stage is going to be the first point where I'm going to recruit a new character, and I'm going to be replacing that generic wizard. Generic wizard is nice because wizards in general are nice because they can hit every element but holy. But the character I'm going to be recruiting just has so much intelligence that it doesn't matter. She just out damages him like a ridiculous amount.
And like we mentioned earlier, the intelligence it also goes for accuracy as well as damage, so that's really important.
I don't want to burn Judgment here if I don't have to. I'm definitely going to be burning Justice. So I get Devil, yes. Keep that one. That one's useful in a couple of other specific situations, so it's worth actually hanging on to this one for the time being. Not against this boss, but against a couple after this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to deploy Gregory. I don't need you. I need Aisha. I'm going to deploy her, and then I'm going to pop one of these summons that I bought. It's going to bring her group up here. I'm going to select her group and change the leader to somebody else, just to make it so I can trade her. And I'm going to take her and replace the generic wizard, and then just get that unit out of dodge. Aisha is a cleric, which don't do direct damage, but she does heal. Now, that's not really important. I can change her class to be something more useful, but for the moment, I'm going to leave it as a cleric because I'm going to do a quick little grind session here. This wizard group here has 4 undead on it, and clerics can instantly kill undead. So I'm going to get pretty much everybody but Aisha a free level here. Of course, she chose not to go first, though. There we go. So all 4 of those die, and everybody but Aisha gets a free level here, which is going to help not a significant amount, but it does help a fair bit with this boss. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to change her into a Valkyrie, which uses electric damage, which is actually very useful against the next handful of bosses. And it actually gets her doing damage, which she otherwise wouldn't be doing. I also want to heal up the Griffin in the front, because he's going to take a beating in this fight, and I want him to survive as long as possible.
Bro.
Yeah, because in addition to providing high sky movement, the Griffin also is a tank to block physical attacks from your back row.
Okay, so I'm going to actually start burning some jokers here. World, yes, keep that one. That's going to be useful very late in the game. Priestess, that's healing that I otherwise don't have. Star, wow, these cards. Keeping that one too. Fortune, okay, that's not good. Let me see how many cards I have. Okay, at 12. Moon, nope. What I'm looking for here primarily is damage. Justice or Judgment would be great. Yeah, I'll keep the Priestess there. They're not being very kind with the damage cards right now, and I don't have a lot. I'll take it. I'll just work with it. Actually, I have 2 junk cards too, so that'll work. Fool, yes please. Fools are very important for the late game. Let's see, where are those cards that I can get rid of? Oh, I have an Empress on hand. I didn't realize that. Okay, Fortune goes. And I got one more. Okay, Hermit. I can take that I want that for the next boss anyway. So that should round out my deck. Okay, there's the Moon card I'm going to get rid of. Those were both useless. Now, if I need to, I can burn the Hermit card here. Preferably, I'd rather not. I'm going to try and do it with just Justice, but I may end up burning it depending what happens. Justice. Okay, good. He's still the weakest. Aisha should go second. And she should hit. Warren will probably go next. Oh, no. Opinion Leader decided to go. Nice hit.
Cool.
Wow.
Nice.
That was pretty much a perfect fight.
Amazing.
Good job, team. Warren actually does not have a great chance to hit him. Warren is just so underleveled at this point that even though he gets good intelligence growth, he's just so low compared to what the bosses are that he has a pretty poor hit rate. Aisha, however, starts with 117 intelligence, which is higher than what the boss there had. And I believe she has either an 80 or a 90% chance to hit him. And versus the next boss, she actually, she's a little lower than it, but it's like a 70 or 60% chance there. Warren is actually going to be sitting at the minimum 40% chance for this next one.
Hey, just to give a quick Bid War update, Evil Path has currently taken the lead with a $60 lead.
Nice.
So,
Okay, you've got until I clear not this map, but the map after it to get your donations in for that. Okay, I should have all the cards I need for this stage, so I'm not going to pull anything here. Enjoy the nice, peaceful water stage music. But I have to deploy 2 units here. The main group is obviously going to go to the boss. This group is going to come up here and liberate a hidden temple. This temple contains the Brunhild sword, which is a very powerful holy weapon in its own right, but if we end up doing devil ending, it is actually a required item in order to be able to complete the devil ending. And you would think a holy sword would not be an item you would need for the devil ending, but there's a specific reason why we do end up needing it, which I'll talk about a bit later on. Unfortunately, this stage is a rather large map, so it does take a while for the units to get all the way across. But it actually works out pretty well that once this unit liberates this temple, I'm ready to move the main unit up to the boss's base. Let's see. Nope. Garbage. Hierophant puts all enemies in the battle to sleep, but again, does not work on bosses. Okay, so what I'm going to actually do here is I'm going to quickly switch off to that Boleus I picked up, because this boss is actually pretty resistant to holy damage, and the Boleus will work better here. She's not primarily weak to fire, she's weakest to lightning, but I don't have any weapons that can do that right now. This boss, it's a water stage, it's a mermaid we're fighting. She has a bunch of mermaid cohorts too. So the first thing I'm going to use here is Fool, which is going to cause all of the enemies to run away except for the leader, which is really important for what I'm about to do next. Okay, she goes first. She only gets 1 attack, and she cannot kill me, so I'm not in any danger of dying here. And the next card I'm going to burn is Hermit. This does electric damage, but it's a strength-based card, which my opinion leader is not quite as good at strength as intelligence, but she's weakest to this, and the big reason why I wanted to get rid of all the other units is damage is increased for cards based on the number of enemies that are actually present. So having only just her in the fight ends up being very beneficial because she takes a lot of extra damage. Okay, Warren connected. Come on, Griffin, bro, you got this.
Bro. Go, go, go.
Oh! Yeah! Griffin, bro! Yeah. Griffin Bro showing why he is the true hero of the rebellion.
Indeed. High five, Dad. That's great. Oh, baby. High five, guys. High five. Griffin Bro. There. Griffin Bro.
He's starting strong.
He says he is.
He's been tanking like a champ. It'd be nice if we could get like a Worm. A Worm is another high sky unit, but it's overall better than the Griffin, but there's just no quick way to get it in this route. All right, so this is the stage. Let's see, oh yeah, Chariot and Devil. I am perfectly fine for this boss. This is the stage. Once this stage is finished, that's when we're cutting off the category choice.
Yeah. So let's say when the fireworks after he beats the stage start is when the cutoff will be.
Yep.
All right, you heard it, folks. This is it.
Ooh, I need to be zoomed out.
Because yeah, if it isn't really, yeah, I guess we probably could have mentioned this earlier too, but this game has a lot of endings depending on stuff you do or don't do over the course of it, and the 2 options for the ending we're offering as part of this marathon run are either the priestess ending, which he gets for the female opinion leader and then beating the game as fast as possible, or the devil ending, which is
the most evil ending you can come up with, which
Yep.
it takes a bit of extra work to actually make happen. Let's see, anything good? Engraved ring. Could you check that for me, Meta? That one I don't I think that's an intelligence booster, if I remember correctly.
So the short version is that
That is
for,
armor.
For Priestess ending, he'll be saving the world, and for Devil ending, he'll be selling it to the devil. So take your pick.
Okay, good. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to equip that, because that is an intelligence booster, like I thought it was. I'm going to give that to Aisha. Booster just a little bit farther.
Ooh, 131. That's good.
Okay, good. The units are kind of going to the right. Sometimes they'll beeline for the left side, which is kind of detrimental. I think I used that sunshine at the right time. Perfect.
Yep.
I used the sunshine earlier just to manipulate it so it was going to be dusk when I got to the boss, because my cards are going to do the most when I actually, because my opinion leader is kind of in the middle. Okay, he should go first. We're going to open with Chariot. And then I'm going to go into Devil afterwards.
He's going for these just because they're strength-based attacks, and Albilio, I think his name is more susceptible to strength-based attacks than magic ones.
It's not just that, but the strength-based cards, he happens to be weak versus those elements as well. Oh shit, I didn't change it off. Weak. Aisha might not attack him.
Yeah.
I didn't get the frame perfect. Oh well, now I can just leave it on weak.
Yep.
Warren will not kill him, so I'm gonna burn a Priestess as well. Just to get... Priestess heals everybody for 50 HP while in combat. Just doing this so I survive through the next round.
Come on, Griffin, bro.
Griffin Bro unfortunately cannot do this.
Because the way the rows work, even though it kind of looks like he could get through there, the front row just blocks the attacks. Unless it's very specific.
If the opinion leader had hit there, it might not have been such a big deal. Oh, she missed. That's dangerous. I'm going to burn the other Priestess, because if the Black Dragon attacks my opinion leader, I lose.
Yeah, if the opinion leader ever dies, it's an instant game over. So he needs to keep her alive at all costs.
Yeah, I'm very glad I did that. Warren got it, though.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, I needed that second Priestess. The opinion leader would have died from that attack if it hadn't missed. And because I used the Priestess, it changed the RNG. So it may not have attacked. It may not have missed if I hadn't used that. So a little bit of safety.
All right, this is the cutoff point, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm refreshing right now, and it looks like with over $1,100 raised in this bid war. I just want to mention that.
Thank you, everybody, for that.
You are going to be very, very evil.
Devil ending.
You are going to be selling your immortal soul.
Evil will always triumph because good is dumb.
Yes.
So, technically, the Devil ending the route would have split way back at Island Avalon, but there's one stage in the record route for Devil ending that is just not marathon safe. I had a lot of problems trying to route it to make that stage work, and it turns out it just ends up being much more consistent to do this instead, despite the fact that it's going to be a bit slower. I think I lose about 8 to 10 minutes doing this route, but it's still going to come. It still should be fairly underestimate. There's just one boss who has a 186 intelligence rating, and the only characters I have that can do damage are intelligence based. And I need to use a Hanged Man card to lower her defense so I actually do any damage to begin with. It's just a major, major crapshoot, and I could not make it consistent in the slightest. So the route basically follows any percent up to this point, and then it's going to start doing more Devil ending specific stuff.
Can we get the category set on the layout too?
Fool, yes. I'm getting good amounts of fools. I like that.
Your town pulls are very, very good.
Okay, so first thing we're going to do is deploy Tristan, or as we like to call him, Mistin.
I have heard of the tales of Mistin. Tell me more.
Let's not.
Let's not, because he's a really good character, but he's prone to, we'll say, tripping over his own shoelaces.
You don't get to bear, you just have to bear witness to his legend. That's kind of, that's all there is to it.
Okay, so now I'm going to pull Tristan down here. Oop, wrong one. Just make somebody else the leader again. I'm going to trade him off for Warren. I don't need to do that. I need to equip Brunhild on him. I have to remember to unequip this later, too, since we're doing Devil Ending. This is going to boost his strength by 20. All right, so Tristan has a 70% chance to hit this guy. Keep this in mind. That's one. Now, keep in mind, he's got to hit twice. The strat for this fight is to not use any cards, and I'm going to be relying on Tristan hitting twice at a 70% chance. But Tristan only gets one attack from the back row instead of two. Just the attack does a lot more damage, and it can be targeted straight at the boss. Went first twice and hit him twice. So him going first here is actually really rare. To see it twice is unreal.
Good job, Candy Snaps. Way to show your stuff.
So it should be noted, we're using Meta Sigma's SNES for this. There's a story behind it, but the basic idea is that when he bought it, he turned it upside down and crushed Smarties fell out of the fell out of the SNES.
100% serious. And this thing has done some weird things to just about every game Dragondarch has put into it. Paladin's Quest is probably the best example.
All right, so now we're going to start doing some more of the Devil Ending stuff. We're going to be making a detour through Diaspola, Calbian Peninsula, and Antalya. And that's going to open up the stage that contains Galf. Galf is an Antangel, and he is the devil. He's the character you must recruit in order to get the Devil Ending. There's no other way to get it. But by recruiting Tristan already, it's going to make the next three bosses pretty much a complete joke. And that's the big reason why I do this route instead of the record route for this. Because of that, I need that consistency. Tristan is very over-leveled for the next couple of bosses and has much higher agility than they do. I don't think he can miss Norn, but he might prove me wrong. I know he can miss on Figaro, but it's not a high chance. And Omicron is basically the same as Norn, not very much agility. Nice neutral encounter.
Ah, yes.
So neutral encounters are, they're just monsters that have no allegiance to either the Empire or the Rebellion, and you encounter them just whenever running over usually odd terrain like mountains or rivers or something. And you can persuade them to join your army and just kind of bolster your ranks. None of them are useful for the Devil Ending.
Are any of them useful for any category of
No.
speedrunning? Okay.
Nope.
They're just way too random to even try and get
Yeah.
one in your party because, I mean, you can spend.
So you can't get
minutes.
a worm through a neutral encounter?
You can, but there's no convenient place to actually get one on the route. And for 100%, I get one. Ooh, wow, that was close.
Wow.
For 100%, I actually get one free when I recruit Gilbert. So I recruited that town in the northeast because I'm going to be returning there much, much later in the game. Wow, these fools. I am glad to be seeing these. These are going to be very useful in the late game. But this one here is the shop. I only need one thing from here. I just need 2 pairs of boots. I'm going to need those to return to a couple of towns after finishing the second to last stage and for returning to this stage. And it's going to be how I get my reputation down to be able to recruit Galf, because, again, Galf is the devil, and you need low reputation and low alignment to be able to recruit him. So I need a way to get my reputation down, which just so happens this stage is perfect for that.
Yeah, the bar in the upper right corner below the sun and moon daytime indicator is his reputation. It's very high right now just because he gains, I think it's 5 reputation for beating each stage, and he hasn't really done anything to lower it yet.
Okay, so unfortunately Norn got a heal off, so Aisha cannot kill her at this point. So I'm just going to run and have Tristan do another one. If Aisha had gone first, she could potentially actually get a kill on her. But it's not very common that Aisha goes first here, just because Aisha is going to be slower than Norn. Stat-wise, she is inferior to Norn, basically. But Tristan makes short work of her with this. And the idea for the next couple of stages, I just don't want to be burning cards if I don't have to. I want to save as many as possible for the late game rather than using them in the early stages. And since I'm doing this particular route, I just finish Norn off, and you lose a bunch of reputation for it. because it saves a whole lot on dialogue. Not just here, but later on if you have Norn in your party, somebody else will join that normally would join, because I normally would recruit Norn on Devil Ending, and somebody else would join later on that would take Tristan's place or would be recruited instead of Tristan. But for this route, since I'm not getting that, since I don't need that character, I just don't recruit Norn, so I skip all of that dialogue.
All right, is this a good moment for some donations?
Go for it.
Awesome, because I definitely have some great donations here to read off. I'm going to go ahead and start off with another $250 donation from Slick Track, who might have had a hand in this ending, saying, for completely missing my Mitch Hedberg joke, I changed my mind and now must praise evil. The world must burn until its surface is but glass.
Oh, it's going to burn, all right.
We also have $25 from Nista saying, been looking forward to Ogre Battle all day. Thanks to all the runners for making it such a fun marathon to watch. Oh, and happy birthday, Phil.
Stab that.
We also have a $100 donation from Light Eagle, a good friend of mine too. Name opinion leader in Ogre Battle Doof, even though you can't. Thanks, Light Eagle.
It was a good try, Light Eagle. Good try. I commend your effort.
And we also have a $50 donation from Z saying, current host reminds me of Travis from Fallout 4 and I love it. You're welcome. Here's to my favorite marathon of the year. Good luck to all the runners and may RNG Jesus walk with you.
All right, so this boss is fairly easy with Tristan as well. He has
Or Miston in this case.
he has an 80 to 90% chance to hit this guy.
Don't say good things about Tristan ever.
This one I have to rely on just hitting twice with Tristan. Aisha cannot finish him, even if Tristan connects. There we go. There's one. So if I was doing 100%, the group would consist of, instead of having Aisha, I'd have Ceridan, and Ceridan sometimes still has a problem taking him out. And Ceridan's intelligence is significantly higher than Aisha's, and he can attack the correct element. So Aisha just has no chance to be able to get him down. I think she'd do 40 to 50 at most. Oh, he went first that time. Griffin gonna get a little bit of the action there.
It's okay, he's doing his job.
Exactly. So that was just it. The only reason this stage has to be done is to open up the stages I need to do Devil Ending. Antalya is the one that has the Chaos Gate that I need to get to the stage where Galf resides. In addition, in a weird twist, this route also recruits the most holy character in the game and uses her fairly extensively, which we'll be picking up in this next stage. I mean, I guess she's okay with, you know, they can put aside their differences, right?
Well, she just doesn't know yet.
We're not going to tell her.
She'll
Sure,
learn to appreciate evil.
Sure, we're going to stop the war.
Yeah.
Okay, so Yushis is recruited at a temple that's hidden right here. The other unit is just going to go. I need to grab that Chaos Gate on that island first, because if I don't grab that, I cannot access the stage with Galf in it. So it is a mandatory thing that I have to do. On the plus side, I can run over an item on the way to the boss as well.
And I believe he needs the Brunhild sword he picked up a few stages ago in order to open Chaos Gates.
Yes. You don't have to have it equipped on the specific unit. It just needs to be in your inventory or equipped on somebody. It doesn't matter where it is as long as it is recognized as somewhere within your group. Nope. Lovers confuses enemies, turns them against each other, but again, does not work on bosses. Ooh, an item. Nope. Unfortunately, Tiara is not terribly useful either.
It's good to mention too, he has to open this Chaos Gate obviously for the next stage, and also he has to beat the stage, which normally he wouldn't have to, but it doesn't keep the Chaos Gate open if he doesn't beat the stage, so...
Well, what's funny is the Chaos Gate does stay discovered even if you beat the stage. Like, you don't have to find it a second time, it's just, it does not actually unlock the next stage unless you finish this one.
Right.
Okay, Okay, there's the hidden item. Maybe I'll get lucky. Nope. Armor's not really something I'm looking for that much. Okay, so we're just gonna send you right to the boss, and then we're gonna wait until I get just before I get there. I'm gonna deploy Yushis and add her to the group in place of Aisha.
Wow.
No, Ghost, I'm not interested. I know you're looking to, get your body back or what have you, but no, sorry. Okay, now I'm going to deploy Yushis. She has a very holy group. She has 3 angels on it. Pull her in. Make somebody else the leader again, and I'm going to change, not you for Aisha. And then I need to get that item off of Aisha because I gave it to her to help out earlier. Whoops, wrong group. Usually don't have to do much equipment changing here, so... But I want this item for Yushis instead because I want her intelligence as high as I can get it. You'll notice she has 181 intelligence, which is really, really high compared to Aisha. Aisha had around a 130 with the equipment. So this guy's a sorcerer. He's very weak to physical stuff. Yeah. And he's also fairly weak to holy damage. He will likely go before she does, but that's not a big deal.
Griffin, bro.
That might have missed. Yushis has a 70% chance to hit here, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Tristan will almost always go first here, but I've seen it once where he didn't go first, and if I don't heal up, everybody's going to die. And also, after I run away, I always pause the game because it'll specifically pop up that my unit has stopped moving, and I just do that to avoid it. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. So, stage completed. Evil stage is unlocked, but we're going to be putting that off until a fair bit later. Like I said, I have to get both my reputation down, and I need to get my opinion leader's alignment down, which I can't do the reputation right now anyway. I need an item from the second to last stage, so it's going to be a while before we come back and actually pick up Galf. So from here, we're just going to continue on the path like we normally would towards the end of the game. So the next stage is going to be Shangri-La. That stage just below where Shangri-La is, that is called the Tundra. That is the stage I was having so many problems with before. The boss of it is named Maisel, and she is a Seraphim, which is basically the highest evolution of Angel. Very resistant to almost everything except darkness attacks, and she's the one with the 186 intelligence rating. So there's just no way I can really handle dealing with her. So just this modified route just seeks to avoid having to deal with her.
Yeah, for the cost of playing, I think it's like 1 1/4 extra stages in total.
Yeah, pretty much.
As I do recall that Tundra stage, even if you're playing casually, you level up all your units, you fight a lot of random encounters, that stage is still really hard, so even trying to beat it in a speed run is utterly insane.
I'm going to pick up a few more safety items here. And I'm going to spend the rest on Jokers. I'm actually going to quickly replace the Brunhild with the Rune Sword just so I don't forget to unequip it later. I do need it in my inventory for a specific reason later on. Nope, not buy. I need to rearrange the unit. So what I'm going to be doing in this stage is a little bit of grinding. So like I said before, my opinion leader is very underleveled. And there's a really easy way to get some levels in this particular stage that I'm going to be taking advantage of. Let me see. Actually, I don't really need cards for this fight just because Yushis is such a powerhouse against this guy. He does not have a terribly good intelligence score, and Yushis is the correct element for hitting him as well. He's weakest to Holy. So, yeah, things are going to happen to him, hopefully. But what I'm looking for, not this wizard, there's a ninja that's going to be coming right after him. See, right there. The ninja's got 4 undead units on it, and Tristan is equipped with a holy weapon. So what's going to happen here is Tristan is going to instantly annihilate these undead, and they're all high enough level that both the Opinion Leader and the Griffin are going to gain a level every single fight here. And I think Tristan gets one, and Yushis will also get one level out of this. It's just going to catch the Opinion... Ooh, I got a little closer to that one than I wanted to. That's perfectly fine. I'll just run away from this fight. I came in at a kind of a bad angle.
You'll notice he did some options things at the beginning of the game. One of them was turning off the animations, but in every single boss fight, you have to watch the animations. So it's the first time you see people just kind of step forward and do attacks.
Yeah, Tristan's agility is high enough that he pretty much cannot miss these ghosts. I have never seen it happen. I might be cursing it right there, by the way. Also, after you kill 2 of these ghosts, the ninja gets a little confused as to what's going on and just stop.
3, huh?
That's Griffin Bro's sister.
Griffin Bro's wife.
I need you to pack a lunch.
Now, normally this would not be done in like record attempts or anything. I'm just doing this for safety purposes, mostly because the final boss has an attack that can hit for ungodly amounts of damage, and I need to make sure they can survive it. And if I don't level the Opinion Leader up a little bit, they may not have the HP to do it. Record attempts actually sit right at the cusp of what can survive it. This is going to make sure I have enough HP to tank it, even if I don't get any good like defensive gear or anything. It also gets the Griffin a lot more HP to be able to tank with. In addition to my Opinion Leader getting a lot more intelligence, which is going to help with tarot card damage. Okay, now I need to move you back, you to here, you to here, you to here. But 4 levels on the Opinion Leader. The Opinion Leader gains between 4 and 6 intelligence per level, so that was worth roughly an extra 20 intelligence for the Opinion Leader, which for most bosses, the card damage is going to increase by, if they're alone, by 20. If they're with everything else, it'll be by 10. If there's only 2 enemies, it'll be about 15. Okay, good. I forgot he is weak. Good job, Mistin. I'm going to let Yushis get her attack off, and then I'm going to retreat and start again. Ooh, Griffin Bro wants to get in on the action here. Won't do much. Won't do very much here, just because those are fire dragons, and he has a fire weapon on.
Well, it's kind of a good thing, because it's possible that he knocks the boss, or one of the dragons, weaker than the boss, and then he'd have to change the tactics back to leader, which is not good. He was not on the subtle amount of damage that can make a difference.
But Mistin, showing why we call him Mistin. He has a 60% chance to hit this guy, I believe. It's either 60... It's like, I believe, right on the verge of like 60 or 70. Ooh, okay, they're a little closer to my base than I'd like them to be. Yushis can kill him this time, though, so even if Tristan misses, it's pretty much fine. Not optimal time for us to be fighting either. Yushis is actually pretty high alignment, and so is Tristan. So their damage output is actually better during the day. But not really a big deal with this boss, because Yushis is just such a powerhouse here. And if I had actually recruited Norn, right here would be a cutscene with Debonair, which was the boss I fought back in Zenobia, the first difficult boss. And you'd end up getting him on the group, which is just a lot of extra dialogue that I don't need to deal with, because I went the route to get Tristan instead. And Tristan is actually a little bit better than Debonair. Debonair is superior stat-wise, but Tristan's back row attack does more damage. Debonair's not missing air or anything. He usually hits more often.
He has a fair amount more agility.
Okay, I have 1 magician, 1 star, 3 fool, an empress for later on. I got a hanged man too. That could be useful. I'm actually going to check my alignment on my units first before I go out. 53 on her, 81, 89, and 50. All right. Nope, got a position here. Okay, since they're higher, I'm only going to use 1 card here on my Okay, so I'm going to set it to during the day so Yushis and Tristan do more damage. Normally I would set it to dusk so I get more card damage, but in this case I should only need 1 card, and with the extra levels the Opinion Leader got in the last stage, it shouldn't be a big deal. And the Opinion Leader is not going to lose that much because I'm going to set it so it's like where the clock is right now. It's with the moon, with the sun in the upper right position, which is, yeah, so I forgot to explain how the time of day works. The time of day is set to either 0, 25, 50, 75, or 100. And what the game does...
Is that 4?
Yep.
That's 4.
4.
I think
Get out of here, Kraken.
See
yesterday we
Ultros.
saw 1 total the whole run. Yeah. So this is unusual.
But yeah, what it does is it takes the time of day and it subtracts your character's alignment, and whatever that number is, it divides that by 5, and that's the penalty you suffer. There is no bonuses for matching the correct alignment, only penalties for not being what it wants you to be. Okay, good. This guy went north instead of south. Sometimes he'll juke me and go south for unknown reasons.
But yeah, this game is filled with just these subtle impacts of various stats and other effects, and it doesn't really do the greatest job of explaining any of that to you, too. Which is
So-
unfortunate.
This is a very unique boss fight in that the leader is the leader only has to be killed, but the fight doesn't end as soon as the leader is dead. I actually have to run away once the leader dies. So
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
gonna open
these are Gemini twins, so you're meant to think that you have to fight both of them.
opening with Magician because the one in the back is very weak to fire damage. Okay, good. He kicked. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Miston didn't miss, and Yushis should take care of the residents. The one in the back, these guys have extremely low intelligence. So if the one in the back had cast Nova instead, I would have actually run from the fight immediately because the Opinion Leader would have been in danger of dying. Because the Opinion Leader will generally not be able to survive 2 AoE attacks. Even though the one in the back is intelligence-based, it's still a very big danger to keep her in the fight. So I would have run away and restarted the fight to try and take them out from there, but because he just did a normal kick, I was able to stay with it, and it's not a big deal. Little anticlimactic, though, because I just kill the one unit and then run away, and it's like, hey, we still won.
Yeah, they weren't really able to fully program that as kind of an exception boss fight where you have to kill both of them to win.
All right, so now we're going to see if Candy SNES can do its job.
Come on. Do the thing, Candy SNES. Do the thing.
So the strat for this boss fight is I'm going to use a Fool to get rid of all of the boss's cohorts, and then I'm going to burn a Judgment card. This boss has virtually no holy resistance. So the Judgment card is going to hit like a truck. Judgment is a holy-based, holy element intelligence-based card, and it's going to do. He resists exactly 2 damage for holy attacks. So normally I see it hit for about 140 with this route, 140, maybe 150 tops, sometimes 130. The last time I did a run for this on Candy SNES, it hit for 174.
That's a lot.
Which, it doesn't really make any difference. The next attack will still kill him, but it was just really funny to see that level of damage when I was very not expecting it. And the Opinion Leader is sitting right around 50 alignment, so the card damage is not going to be suffering any penalties whatsoever. And nope, no Fire Giant in the moat this time. I've gotten neutral encounters in the moat of the castle, and it was Fire Giants. Go figure.
Just taking a bath.
Yep.
Here we go.
Okay, open with Fool.
So like I said, this is important because damage would be spread if he didn't make the other enemies run away first.
And this guy also has the highest agility in the game at 216, so I don't count on much actually hitting him. And Judgment, here we go. Miston doing his job. Yushis will very likely finish this because her intelligence rating is about the same as his. So she actually has a decent hit rate. Tristan actually is... his agility is good, but this guy's is so high that he has like the minimum chance to hit anyway.
59 was good.
Yeah, 159 was a decent damage roll. Let's see. I got Fool Star. I'll probably use Hanged Man here. Yeah, Hanged Man plus Fool for yeah, I'll use Hanged Man plus Fool for this. I'm a little concerned I don't have any Emperors, but I haven't drawn cards in a while either.
A nice thing.
Yeah,
You have to-
I haven't had to sit and draw cards that much, which is actually pretty good. Yeah, I'll go with Fool here. I'm going to pick up the Nodo so Tristan can actually do some reasonable damage from the front, and I'll save the Star for later. Oop. Nope, want to hit that town first. I'm actually going to deploy the other unit here again. I'm going to be picking up a weapon at this temple. It's a Darkness Elemental weapon. Fairly high strength on it, too. The boss in the next stage is actually weak to Darkness Element. He's one of the only bosses that's actually weak to it. The big story behind it is basically he's like one of the more honorable characters within the Empire. He doesn't want to leave it because of his allegiance to his queen, but he is a very honorable type warrior, which is why he's resistant to holy and weak to darkness. I'll probably use a Star World strat for Endora. And Chariot, nope, that's not useful any longer. Actually, no, add that one. I can use that against Endora if necessary. Not the most useful card against her, but it's not bad either, because she's weakest to physical damage instead of... you would think she's weakest to Holy, considering she's the Black Queen, but she's actually weakest to physical, with Holy being second. She's actually fairly resistant to almost everything. Hanged Man, no, that's not going to be useful at this point. Actually, no, I'm going to keep that. I might be able to use... I'll use that against Haikash. Oop, nope, not move. I need to buy... I'm going to buy just a couple more all... no, not all heals. I'll buy a couple of revives, and then spend the rest on jokers.
Buying these insane amount of jokers. Shouldn't have to use all of them, but RNG is RNG, so you might as well get as many as you can.
Yeah, it's a big safety precaution. It's very unlikely I'm going to go through every one of them that I bought.
He's able to afford a lot of stuff too, just because the bonus money he gets at the end of every stage is pretty high because of his reputation.
And a mechanic we haven't really talked about because he doesn't have to. Every unit that you deploy besides the Opinion Leader actually costs you money to take out of your base. But he's only deploying the one unit that has the Wizard and the Griffin, and they're level 2, and so it only costs him, it's probably like 600 or 800 or something like that, every time he deploys that unit, so he's just getting profit every map.
Where is it? There it is, on page like 5. Gonna give this to Tristan. I actually have a Thunder equipped. Let's see, right there. We'll give that to the Griffin. He might do some damage, he might not. We'll find out. At this point, though, Tristan and Yushis are actually pushing 100 alignment, so I actually want it to be roughly noon when I get here now. And this guy is a general just like Tristan is, but he doesn't use the Inuki attack from the back row. I'll open with Fool. I shouldn't need anything else. Actually, no, I'm going to burn Hanged Man as well, just to get his defenses down a little bit. Mostly for Yush's case. Because I got 2 of them. This stage and the next stage are going to be the 2 that it's the most useful to use them on. Because they have fairly... This guy's resistant to everything but electric. Okay, good hit from Tristan to start out with. I think she missed. Oh, no.
Yep.
She would have done about 50 damage without that Hanged Man card. So that's the big reason why I wanted to use it there. Opinion Leader, I expect to miss. Griffin tried. Still alive, though. Yusha should have this.
Yep. I think that's it.
Yeah. It's a little hard to tell with some of the attacks on whether or not it actually connects. The big thing here is for hit miss. I can usually tell whether things hit or miss before it even hits or actually connects with the enemy, just because the animation will be slightly off center to the right. Just a little thing that I think a lot of people probably don't know about this. Only affects single target attacks, though, not attacks that would hit all enemies. It's just a nice little indication beforehand, so I can kind of tell, okay, the attack missed, I can get ready to do something if I need to. If you've got any donations, Aussie, now would actually be a pretty decent time.
Yeah, I got a couple I can read off here. So let's go ahead and read this off. We have a $30 donation, $30 donation from Anonymous. We also have $21.12 donation from Unwise. No comments, guys. But we do have a nice $175 donation from David K5. Yes, thank you, David. He says, here's my $175 for my 7 critical hits in Dragon Quarter. Thanks for everyone for the fantastic support you have given to the marathon so far. Keep it up.
Thanks, David.
Oh, nice guy.
Okay, so I shouldn't need to pull any cards here either. Actually, I think I'm going to, just to see if I can get some damage cards on hand. Even though he's weak to darkness, I don't have enough strength to make good use of it. Of course, they're giving me all the strength-based damage now. Oh, Judgment. There's one I want. I want that for the end game. I don't really want it for him because he's not going to take a lot from it, but I want that for the end game big time. Let me see. I've got 1 Fool. Yes, I'm going to keep that. Another Judgment.
Nice.
I want to see Judgments for the final boss. Hangman, that's not really useful any longer. Where are the Magicians and Justices? Let's see, 9 cards. They're not being very kind with it right now. I'm gonna pull only a few more if I don't see anything. If I don't see anything good come up, actually, I'll keep the 1 Devil. If I don't see anything within 2 or 3 cards, I'm just gonna stop pulling, and we'll wait till the next stage. Let the RNG reseed itself. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead with it. What happens is some seeds have different. It's not so much card sets, but they seem to be more likely to give certain cards and not to give other ones. And right now, I'm just not on a seed that's going to give me some of the cards that I want. So I'm just gonna not pull cards in this stage, and I'll wait until it's reseeded in the next one. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna burn Fool and Hanged Man here. That's gonna actually allow Yushes to do a fair amount of damage here. Because this guy is actually really resistant to Holy, and that's the only element Yushes can work with. So using a Hangman card here is actually going to make it so she can do some real damage. Okay, that Samurai deployed late, but I'm going to send them up here. You're actually on a fairly tight timetable on this stage to get to the boss before they take your base, and I don't always have another chance to retry the fight if things go poorly. So here we go. This is Haikosh. I forget his actual class right offhand. But we're going to open with Fool and get rid of all of the Valkyries with him. Or rather, not Valkyries. Those are Muses, upgraded Valkyries. Both Tristan and the Griffin have a Darkness Elemental weapon right now, which is very, very nice. The fact that I just happened to get that other one earlier in the game. The Griffin's isn't quite as powerful as Tristan's, but that's perfectly fine. Good job. Miston starting out strong. Griffin Bro was learning from Miston. But yeah, that would have done like 40, probably less, without that Hangman card. So that was really important that I popped that. I expect the Opinion Leader to miss. Opinion Leader's strength, intelligence isn't that high at this point because of the level difference. Griffin Bro tried. Kind of relying on Tristan to get a hit here. Okay, good. Cool. I don't have a lot of damage to work with, and I haven't pulled any Emperors yet, which is kind of which is a little concerning. I'm going to be burning Star on this next fight to make Endora just a little bit easier, but I'm definitely going to be pulling some cards here in hopes for some Emperors, a bit of damage for the end game, and I shouldn't need another Fool. Emperors are like really big though at this point. I had that Devil card on hand if I really needed it, but I'll probably end up replacing it now because it's utterly useless.
So the important thing to note, the Emperor card that he keeps talking about actually gives all of your units an extra attack over what they would normally get in a battle. So if he gets to his last character's turn and he hasn't killed something, he can just immediately use it instead of like, in that stage you can't really run away and try again. You would just have to like Emperor and try and get someone to hit.
The hit rate in that fight wasn't too bad. This fight's not that bad either, except for casters. So this boss has 247 intelligence. Yushis has a few problems trying to hit him. Or hit this. Actually, this is, I should say her. This is actually where you fight the Black Queen. She lives up to her namesake. She has 5 different spells she can cast. She's basically a very powerful version of a wizard. All of her attacks hit every character in our party, and she can hit every element but holy damage. She is not to be messed with, and this is one of the fights where I'm going to be using a world card.
Which gives you magic immunity for the fight.
Yep, anything intelligence-based will miss as long as the world card is in play, and all of the attacks coming from her group are going to be intelligence-based. Oh, I missed it. The town is actually right here. Literally a pixel off. That's fine, though. I get to pull an extra card from this, so I don't care. And nope. Temperance just heals status ailments, which ends up not being useful at all in this run. But the only reason I'm liberating this town is for later. I want to come back to that. Oh, crap. Okay, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to grab the bonus level that I usually get here. This mage has undead on it, and I could grab an extra level from it, but the Valkyrie's sitting right on top of it, so I'm not going to chance it. Okay, switch the Rune Axe back to Tristan. He's going to keep the Rune Axe for the rest of the game, and I'm going to give the Nodos to the Griffin in hopes of it actually connecting. Second best option besides Holy, and I can't equip Brunhild at this point. I need to have it sitting in my inventory. And I need this formation because otherwise they cannot hit Endora because she's in the back row, and targeting is a little wonky sometimes with trying to target characters, so I have to set them up like this. So she's a little irritated that I'm, trying to take her out.
Knock on your door and kick you out.
Nope, can't set it to weak. Need that on leader. Open with World. This is going to protect me from all of her magic attacks. I now have 100% magic evasion, so nothing will be able to hit me. Tristan decided to go first, which is unusual, but we'll take it.
And hit.
And yeah, we'll burn it. Debating on whether I wanted to save this for Rashidi or not.
I believe it's plus 30 agility for star.
50.
50.
Stackable as well. I could burn multiple star cards and get a lot of agility. Oh, wow. I think
That
Yasha's hit.
Yep.
Yep.
Because it's off center for her, which is weird.
That doesn't happen very often. Griffin Bro, unfortunately, not coming through this time. He'll get her next time, though. Ooh, the Opinion Leader hit. That's rare. She's still the weakest, though, so I'm going to set it to weak just to get the extra damage bonus. Ooh, Tristan.
Nice.
So yeah, these would be hitting for 100 plus for every spell she
That
casts.
hit too.
Wow, 2 hits from Yushis. That's unreal. Come on, Griffin!
Go, Griffin!
Go, go, go!
Yeah! Griffin coming through! Yes!
Yeah.
Griffin, again, being the true hero of the rebellion.
I think the Griffin just earned its right to be the new emperor. Actually.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Killing the Black Queen.
With that weapon in its mouth the whole time.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Carrying a legendary sword in its mouth. No, I never get tired of Griffin Bro coming through for us. It's one of the high points of doing runs of this.
Because remember, the Griffin is both a tank. It provides high sky movement and is mostly just there to be a tank for blocking hits from hitting the back row.
But once in a while, it comes through and kills things off.
It's like relatively underleveled too at this point.
Just because it dies a lot.
Yeah.
So this is where the devil ending is going to start coming into play. I need to come up to this town because they give me what's called a Centaur Demon. And I need this to tank my reputation down to where I need it.
Yeah, the in-game utility of the Centaur Demon is to trade for other items or for money, but it has a special property that we'll be exploiting here.
So I also need to get my Opinion Leader's alignment down, which is another not terribly easy feat. So the only way I can really do this is to go back to a very early stage in the game and have it kill some enemies. You gain and lose alignment based on a number of factors. There's no real accurate formula for it just yet, or that anybody knows of. There's a few that are kind of close, but it's heavily based on your level versus the enemy's level that you kill, in addition to your alignment versus their alignment and some class compatibility stuff. But what I'm going to do here, since my opinion leader is level 20, the enemies here are like level 8 and 9. So I'm going to be able to tank her alignment very, very quickly just by fighting one unit. The reason why I brought the Griffin is 1, for High Sky, and 2, because the Griffin also has an attack in the back row that hits all enemies. And the Griffin is, for the most part, going to be faster than the Opinion Leader, and that's exactly what I'm looking for here. So the Griffin's going to hit everything, and then the Opinion Leader's going to go and kill everything, and that should bring her alignment pretty close to 0. I need 30 or less alignment on the Opinion Leader to be able to recruit Galf. We check it. 0.
0.
Perfect.
Wow, she was really low.
So 0 is actually optimal. Ironically, this route has the easiest time with the final boss, because the final boss will always set the time of day to 0. So the Opinion Leader is going to be at full damage for the final boss, which is pretty insane. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let my unit come up here so they don't get attacked again, and then I'm going to let them take my base, which is going to cost me 5 reputation, but I don't have to finish the stage this way. I could finish it. It's not very difficult at this point, but there's really no point in doing so. It's faster just to let them take it. Now I'm going to re-add Tristan and Yushis to the group. I'm going to have to reform it anyway, so it's not a big deal.
This 100 alignment in the same group as the 0 alignment leader is
It's fine.
pretty awesome.
It's good.
Okay, now we're going back to Diaspola. Again, I liberated that one extra town here because this is how I'm going to tank my reputation. There's a little loophole in this that most people, I don't think, expect. And we're just going to tell this guy no a lot of times.
Probably read some donations while doing so.
Yeah, I got to keep count here anyway. Okay, there's 1. Got to do this 11 times. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10, and just one more time here. This is going to put my reputation at 40, which is the bare maximum, we'll call it that. This is the maximum I can have and still be able to recruit Galf.
The dialogue's a little funny there if you couldn't read it. He's just offering you these items, which are pretty good for a normal run, but then he's just like, well, forget it. And
Yeah,
leaves.
They're items for changing into rare classes.
And every time you tell him no, you just lose 5 reputation. It is by far the fastest way to get your reputation down. It's actually used on the 100% ending as well, so I can recruit Deneb. But I don't have to be evil for that, so the Opinion Leader can stay high alignment. But you need 40 or less reputation to be able to recruit her as well. So this is the stage. This is Antangel. This is where Galf resides. He's been imprisoned here by the 12... I forget what they call them. I never remember much about the story. But I think it's the 12 High Monks or something.
Yeah.
They imprisoned him here because he was part of the original Ogre battle, which took place a long time ago. And the 12 Sages basically defeated the leader of the Ogres and imprisoned pretty much everybody who was aligned with the Ogres in this place. And we're going to free Galf. Any other ending will not free him, and he'll just die after the fight. Double check. Make sure I put it back in my inventory. Good. It's right there. So the way you free him is you have to give him the Brunhild sword. So it conflicts with any other ending that actually requires it, so you cannot get the best ending if you recruit Galf. But thankfully, this is kind of a pushover fight because I'm so high level. I do have to set it to leader, though, because he has a bunch of undead with him. Good job, Miston.
By the way, I just received a $2,000 donation
Whoa.
from Moon Moon saying, one of my favorite games when I was a kid. Keep it up, dog. Thank you
Yes.
very much for that.
Thank you.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm just going to retreat, because Tristan, I can do the fight with... Tristan and Yushis hitting... With Tristan hitting once, Yushis hitting twice. But with Tristan missing once, Yushis cannot quite get him at night. And I don't want to burn a Sunshine here, because I only have one left, and I need it for the final stage. Tristan missing is very unfortunate, because he has like a 90% chance to hit this guy. I didn't bother healing, because it's not really a big deal at this point. Griffin's trying to do something, but you cannot hit Undead with any other element besides Holy. And now Gal's going to be like, hold, please don't kill me. Little bargain, you give me that sword, I'll join you. You also lose 15 reputation when he joins the party.
I wonder why. People don't really like deals with the devil.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to yank some cards here.
Except our generous donors for the category, though.
I got the world for Rashidi, but I have a fool for him as well, but I would like a star and maybe some damage, and I definitely need some damage for the final battle.
Like 2 extra judgments.
Yeah, something like that.
So despite this whole run being based around recruiting Gelf to get the devil ending, Gelf is sadly not really useful for the remaining stages in the game, just because, I believe it's just because his attack is darkness based, which
Yep.
he's past any point where that would be useful.
Here.
So we're giving the world to Gelf without him having to lift a finger to get it, basically.
Weird, right?
I don't need more world cards at this point. Magician,
Oh, good.
This should be, hopefully will be a decent seed. Sun. I can't use Sun because it will instantly kill my opinion leader now. Sun does damage based on the character's alignment, and my opinion leader is still sitting on 0. Yeah, Sun will do a lot of damage. Star. That's
Yep,
what I was
that's what
looking
you
for.
wanted.
Judgment. Good.
Nice.
I'm going to keep pulling for a bit. Tower's not useful right now. Please stop giving me the world. I don't need that anymore. Magician, that's another good one. Empress, I already have the healing I need, so I won't need that one. Justice, that's another good one.
Yes.
Yes. Judgment. Justice and Judgment. Let me see the card list. I'm gonna let it. Don't worry, I'm letting it run for now.
Okay.
Star for Rashidi. I got the extra Judgment for... I should be good. I should have everything I need to be able to finish. The only unfortunate thing might be if I end up needing... a little extra damage against Rashidi, but I should be okay if I just burn... Yeah, keep it up here so I can still see it. So this stage is a very large map. It takes quite a while to get across it. There is an undead unit that I might take a stab at, because I think my opinion leader is still level 20, so I could get an... Actually, if my opinion leader... Let me look real quick. Opinion leader, I believe, is 20. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to fight the fight. I'll end at level 21, which is actually pretty normal for this. I need to reform the group when I get down here, too. But I'll burn a Judgment card to get rid of the undead that accompany the first boss. First off, Sunshine, get it back to daytime. So our good old buddy Garis is back for the 3rd time.
For the 3rd time.
He's still not much more powerful than he has been before. And the fortunate thing here, since he has surrounded himself with undead, I can just burn a Judgment and annihilate all of them, leaving him completely exposed. And he's weakest to holy damage, so it still does a fair amount to him. Ooh, Tristan went first.
And hit. That's notable.
It is. And Yushis is going to demolish him.
Bye-bye.
A tarot and 2 hits.
Yeah, he doesn't. I call him comedy relief because that's pretty much all he is. So this is Rashidi. He is basically the most powerful spellcaster in the game. He has a 255 intelligence score, so good luck hitting with magic. But I need the star card here to be able to raise Tristan's agility high enough to have decent chances to hit. And
Went the whole round without seeing an Emperor card, too.
yeah,
That's
that's.
strange.
Let's see. Open with Fool. Actually, no. No. We don't open with Fool. We open with World. Because this guy hits like an absolute truck. Unfortunately, he used one of the attacks that can go through it, but it's strength-based, so it doesn't do quite as much. Then Fool to get rid of his cohorts. Unfortunately, Tristan has to attack once without Star, so I'm going to pray that he hits. Dang. Okay, so Star goes next. This is going to make Tristan's hit rate fairly decent, and actually Chariot can still be useful here, and I'm probably just going to go ahead and burn that. Griffin Bro watching how Tristan does things. Chariot's not the best because my strength rating isn't that high on the opinion leader, but he's very weak to physical as well, so it'll probably still do a fair amount. 55's not bad. Yushis will have a very difficult time hitting him, though. Okay, so I'm going to burn another one here. I'm going to burn, I'm going to get rid of the Magician. Just to get some extra damage on him. 89's decent. I really don't want to have to burn more damage if I don't have to. 86. I need either the Griffin or Yushis to hit her. I'm going to have to burn another card. Griffin!
Yes!
Griffin!
Yes!
Griffin with the assist, and I think Yushis
hit
just
too.
him. Yep, Yushis just killed him.
Nice. They both hit.
Griffin with the assist.
Wow.
Griffin with the
High
assist.
five for Griffin, bro.
Bye for Griffin, bro.
That's our Emperor Griffin.
Yeah. All hail our Lord and Savior Griffin, bro.
So you'll notice that the time of day is now changed to night. The time of day is now set to 0 because the final boss has 0 alignment, and it makes his damage maximum. I definitely need to heal here. This guy has the opposite of Rashidi. He has a 255 strength rating. He has an attack called Quake that is basically an EI Nuki to my entire party, and my opinion leader is not very resistant to stuff like that. Let me see. Judgment, Justice, Magician. I got the Empress on hand. I just need to move Tristan to the back row. Because I want Tristan, if he gets a turn, I want him to be able to attack the final boss instead of hitting one of the front 2 units. Time will be when this guy makes his death scream. So this is why Devil Ending has such an easy time with this boss, by the way.
Thud.
Okay, Griffin is probably dead on the next turn.
Poor Griffin, bro.
He's still the Emperor, no matter what happens.
Ooh, never mind. He's going to
He's gonna
survive.
survive.
I only needed 3 cards for this
Nice. Wow.
because Tristan actually hit when it counted.
Tristan
And time.
Nice.
So, all hail Emperor Griffin?
Yes.
Yes.
The Griffin with the not only the assist, but 2 kills.
Including the
most
Black
important
Queen.
kill.
One of the most important kills and a lot of good tanking. So, the ending that you all donated for, I think there's a lot of people who probably have not seen this ending because of the strict requirements to get it. Make note of how happy this music is.
Yes. Well, Golf is happy. I mean, things turned out pretty well for him.
Yeah, I'll admit that. They definitely turned out pretty good for him.
Didn't even have to lift a finger to take over the world, too.
You give him the sword, and he's just like, I'm along for the ride.
Didn't even
Sweet.
make him fight with us, too.
So the ending was he kills the opinion leader and takes her body, and now very evil empire is going to be born.
But don't worry, Emperor Griffin is there to help.
No.
Emperor Griffin is-
will not be able to stop this. I mean,
Emperor Griffin is smart and is like, I'm out of here. I did my work.
He's high sky, man. He's out.
Also note, this music is also very happy for the background. But yeah, that was Ogre Battle Devil Ending. Thanks everyone who donated. That actually brought in a lot more than I was expecting it to. But thanks to everybody who donated for the categories for that. I'm actually kind of glad I got to show off Devil Ending because this is something I think a lot of people have not seen with this game because it is a lot harder to become evil than you would think it would be. But yeah, hope everyone enjoyed. Thanks to Aussie for the hosting and
Anytime.
and also special thanks to Metasigma for operating my spreadsheet for me for the entire run because that's very vital to doing runs of this.
we have to give one more special thanks to our Lord and Savior, Griffin Bro.
One sec. I got to give thanks to my two commentators as well. Poexel, who agreed to do this a while ago, and Riss, who I asked last night if he could do this because he actually seemed like he knew stuff about the game. And of course, thanks to our Lord and Savior, Griffin Bro.
All hill.
Hello, Griffin, bro.
Sky high!
Sky high.
Sky high, guys. I don't know what it is, but I'm rolling with it. Anyways, with that said, I think we're ready to prepare for the next game. Up next is Yee's Memories of Celceta. We're going to take a quick commercial break, so stick around.